Hello, Sigma ladies. Life isn't always about fitting in, is it? For us, it's about standing tall, staying true, and building lives of meaning and depth. As Sigma females, we don't follow the crowd. We set our own paths. But there are certain things we simply can't tolerate, things that drain our energy, clash with our values, or outright challenge our boundaries. Today, we're diving deep into 10 unexpected behaviors and mindsets that push us away faster than anything else. These aren't just pet peeves. They're deal breakers that define how we navigate the world. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Sigma Lady community. This is your space to grow stronger, think deeper, and connect with like-minded women who embrace their power. Let's get started. 1. The shadow of unnecessary noise. As Sigma females, clarity and focus are essential to how we live. Noise, whether it's literal, emotional, or social, feels like chaos that disrupts our carefully cultivated balance. Unnecessary noise doesn't just waste time, it drains energy. Think about physical noise, whether it's loud environments, constant interruptions, or people who talk endlessly without saying much. Sigma females crave quiet spaces where they can think, reflect, and create. Noise without purpose is exhausting, which is why you'll often find Sigma ladies gravitating toward calm, serene settings. Emotional noise is another big offender. Drama-filled relationships, manipulative guilt trips, or constant emotional dumping are things we simply can't handle. Sigma females are empathetic, but they're not emotional dumping grounds. They thrive in relationships where emotional expression is balanced with mutual respect and understanding. Social noise, like pointless gossip, oversharing on social media, or superficial social norms, is perhaps the most irritating of all. Sigma females see through the noise and prefer authenticity over the need to perform for others. They choose depth, purpose, and meaning over shallow connections that add nothing to their lives. To a Sigma female, unnecessary noise is more than just an annoyance. It's a boundary violation. Noise disrupts the focus she needs to achieve her goals and live her best life. She knows the value of silence and the power it brings to her creativity, productivity, and peace of mind. Ultimately, the Sigma female doesn't tolerate unnecessary noise because it's the opposite of everything she values: clarity, balance, and intentionality. Her world is one of purpose, and she ensures her surroundings reflect that. 2. The overworn mask of pretense. Few things repel a Sigma female faster than pretense. For her, authenticity is non-negotiable. Whether it's fake smiles, forced politeness, or people who pretend to be something they're not, pretense feels like a betrayal of trust. Pretense comes in many forms. Social pretense, acting overly friendly or accommodating to gain favor, is the most common. Sigma females see through this act immediately. They value sincerity and would rather face someone's honest criticism than be flattered with insincere compliments. Another form of pretense is professional. People who exaggerate their skills, take credit for others' work, or fake expertise to climb the ladder lose credibility in the Sigma female's eyes. She respects competence and hard work, and she has no time for those who rely on false appearances to get ahead. Personal pretense, such as hiding one's true self to fit in or manipulate others, is perhaps the most damaging. Sigma females thrive on deep, genuine connections, and pretense creates an emotional barrier that makes real connection impossible. Pretense also reflects a lack of self-awareness. For Sigma females who invest deeply in personal growth, this lack of authenticity feels like wasted potential. Pretending to be someone you're not is a distraction from discovering and embracing your true self. Ultimately, Sigma females reject pretense because it contradicts their values of integrity and authenticity. They surround themselves with people who are real, flaws and all, because they know that's where true strength lies. 3. The trap of unchecked entitlement. Sigma females respect ambition, effort, and the journey it takes to achieve success. That's why unchecked entitlement, expecting rewards, respect, or privileges without earning them, is something they cannot stand. Entitlement shows up in many ways. The colleague who demands a promotion without doing the work, the friend who expects constant attention without reciprocating, or the partner who assumes their needs should come first simply because. To a Sigma female, this behavior signals immaturity and a lack of accountability. One reason entitlement is such a trigger is because it directly clashes with the Sigma female's values. She works hard for everything she has, and she respects others who do the same. Entitlement, by contrast, undermines the principles of effort, discipline, and fairness that she holds dear. Entitlement also creates imbalances in relationships. Sigma females value equality and mutual respect. When someone acts entitled, it puts all the responsibility on one side of the equation. This dynamic drains the Sigma female's energy and quickly becomes unsustainable. Entitlement isn't just a character flaw, it's a mindset that stifles growth. Sigma females believe in taking ownership of their lives, and entitlement contradicts this by shifting responsibility onto others. To her, true empowerment comes from self-reliance, not from expecting others to pave the way. Ultimately, Sigma females reject entitlement because it's the antithesis of everything they stand for. They value hard work, fairness, and accountability, and they expect the same from those around them. 4. The mirage of half-baked passion. Sigma females are driven by an internal fire, a deep sense of purpose that propels them forward in life. That's why half-baked passion, talking about dreams without the drive to follow through, is something they find utterly intolerable. Passion is more than just enthusiasm. It's about action, commitment, and resilience. Sigma females thrive on seeing people turn their ideas into reality. When someone constantly talks about their ambitions but never takes steps toward achieving them, it feels like wasted potential. Sigma ladies value movement, no matter how small, because progress is what separates a dreamer from a doer. This aversion to empty passion stems from the Sigma female's own values. She understands that success isn't built on words alone. It requires effort, discipline, and the ability to navigate setbacks. She respects those who embrace the grind, who work quietly and consistently toward their goals. Passion without execution, on the other hand, feels hollow, like a flame that flickers out as soon as the wind shifts. Half-baked passion also creates a mismatch in relationships. Sigma females seek connections with individuals who inspire and challenge them, people who are as committed to growth as they are. When someone consistently fails to act on their own ambitions, it feels like they're stuck in neutral while the Sigma female is speeding ahead. This doesn't mean Sigma females are unsympathetic to struggles or setbacks. They understand that life is complicated and not every dream comes easily. But there's a difference between facing obstacles with determination and giving up at the first sign of difficulty. The former earns the Sigma female's respect, the latter does not. Ultimately, half-baked passion is unbearable to Sigma females because it represents potential that isn't being fulfilled. To her, life is too short to settle for mediocrity or to let fear hold you back from pursuing what truly matters. 5. The mirage of false proximity. Sigma females value relationships built on trust, depth, and genuine connection. That's why false proximity, attempting to create a sense of closeness without the foundation to back it up, is something they avoid at all costs. False proximity often appears in social or professional contexts, where people try to fast-track intimacy. Whether it's oversharing personal details too soon or using flattery to gain favor, these attempts feel shallow and manipulative to a Sigma female. She believes that true connections take time, effort, and mutual understanding, not shortcuts. This aversion to false closeness stems from the Sigma female's deeply private nature. She doesn't open up easily, and she values the sanctity of her inner circle. Attempts to force intimacy or bypass the natural progression of a relationship feel intrusive and insincere. False proximity also signals a lack of emotional awareness. Relationships built on superficial gestures often crumble under pressure because they lack the depth needed to weather challenges. Sigma females see this as a waste of time and energy. They prefer to invest in connections that can grow and evolve over time. In professional settings, false proximity can take the form of networking without substance. Sigma females respect genuine collaboration and mutual benefit, not superficial alliances based on flattery or convenience. They can easily spot when someone's motives are self-serving rather than authentic. Ultimately, false proximity is unbearable to Sigma females because it contradicts their values of authenticity and depth. They would rather have a few meaningful relationships than a web of shallow connections. 6. The overreach of authority. Sigma females have a natural resistance to unnecessary or unjust control. They respect leadership when it's earned and wielded with integrity, but they cannot stand the overreach of authority, whether it comes from a micromanaging boss, a controlling partner, or societal expectations. For a Sigma female, independence is non-negotiable. Attempts to control her decisions, dictate her actions, or stifle her freedom feel like a direct attack on her autonomy. She believes in the importance of mutual respect and collaboration, not power plays or coercion. Overreach often stems from insecurity or a desire to dominate, both of which are glaring red flags to a Sigma female. She sees through these behaviors immediately and refuses to engage with them. Instead, she sets firm boundaries to protect her independence and self-respect. This intolerance also extends to systemic or societal forms of overreach. Sigma females often challenge norms and expectations that they see as outdated or unjust. Whether it's questioning traditional gender roles, rejecting toxic workplace cultures, or resisting peer pressure, they refuse to conform to rules that don't align with their values. In relationships, overreach of authority is particularly damaging. A controlling partner or friend who tries to dictate her choices will quickly find themselves pushed out of her life. Sigma females thrive in environments where equality and mutual respect are the norm, not dominance or submission. Ultimately, the overreach of authority is unbearable to Sigma females because it undermines the principles of freedom, respect, and individuality that define their lives. They are leaders of their own destiny, and they refuse to let anyone else take the wheel. 7. The vacuum of originality. Sigma females are drawn to authenticity, creativity, and individuality. That's why a vacuum of originality, a culture of conformity where everyone follows trends without question, is something they cannot tolerate. Originality is about more than standing out. It's about self-expression and the courage to be yourself. Sigma females thrive in environments where people celebrate their unique perspectives and talents. When everyone around them seems content to mimic others or suppress their individuality, it feels stifling. This aversion to conformity extends to every aspect of life, from fashion and lifestyle choices to ideas and beliefs. Sigma females respect those who think critically and aren't afraid to challenge the status quo. Blindly following trends or groupthink feels like a betrayal of one's own potential. The vacuum of originality is particularly frustrating in creative or professional settings. Sigma females often find themselves taking on leadership roles because they're willing to propose new ideas and break away from outdated practices. Environments that discourage innovation or reward conformity are incompatible with their mindset. In relationships, the vacuum of originality can create a lack of connection. Sigma females are inspired by people who embrace their quirks and pursue their passions. Those who suppress their individuality to fit in or gain approval often come across as uninteresting or untrustworthy. Ultimately, the vacuum of originality is unbearable to Sigma females because it contradicts their belief in the power of authenticity and self-expression. They know that the world doesn't need more copies, it needs more originals. 8. The lure of empty chaos. Sigma females understand that life isn't always orderly, but there's a clear difference between meaningful complexity and empty chaos. Chaos for the sake of chaos, a whirlwind of unproductive drama, reckless decisions, or constant crisis, doesn't just exhaust them, it's something they actively avoid. Empty chaos often manifests in people who thrive on creating problems where none exist. Whether it's constant drama in personal relationships, poor planning that results in perpetual emergencies, or an inability to find balance, this behavior clashes with the Sigma female's value system. She believes in intentional living, where actions are guided by purpose and goals, not driven by unnecessary disorder. In personal relationships, empty chaos creates instability. Sigma females value partners and friends who bring calm and support to their lives, not those who fuel drama or create emotional turbulence. They are naturally problem solvers, but they won't stick around to fix someone else's self-made chaos. Professionally, Sigma females are equally intolerant of chaotic environments. They prefer structured workflows, clear communication, and a focus on results. A workplace full of disorganization, inefficiency, or needless complications is not only frustrating but also stifling to their productivity. This aversion to chaos isn't about being rigid or inflexible. Sigma females can adapt to unexpected changes and navigate life's challenges with grace. However, they have no patience for chaos that serves no purpose or stems from a lack of accountability. Ultimately, the lure of empty chaos is unbearable to Sigma females because it disrupts the harmony and focus they work hard to maintain. They thrive in environments where challenges lead to growth, not where disorder leads to stagnation. 9. The paralysis of perfectionism. Sigma females set high standards for themselves, but they know that striving for perfection at all costs can lead to stagnation. That's why they cannot stand the paralysis of perfectionism, when the pursuit of flawlessness prevents progress, creativity, or action. Perfectionism is often rooted in fear of failure, judgment, or not being good enough. To a Sigma female, this mindset is counterproductive. She believes in learning through doing, embracing mistakes as part of the journey, and valuing progress over perfection. Waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect solution feels like an excuse to delay action. This aversion to perfectionism also extends to how Sigma females view others. While they respect ambition and diligence, they struggle to connect with people who are overly critical of themselves or others. Perfectionism often creates an environment of constant comparison and unrealistic expectations, which feels draining to the Sigma female's forward-thinking mindset. In relationships, perfectionism can lead to unnecessary tension. Whether it's a partner who holds themselves to impossibly high standards or one who criticizes every small flaw, this behavior feels suffocating. Sigma females value authenticity and vulnerability, not an obsession with presenting an image of perfection. Professionally, the paralysis of perfectionism is a major obstacle. Sigma females thrive in roles that require adaptability, creativity, and problem-solving. Perfectionism, with its emphasis on avoiding mistakes, stifles these qualities. They prefer environments that encourage experimentation and innovation, even if it means taking risks. Ultimately, the paralysis of perfectionism is unbearable to Sigma females because it contradicts their belief in growth, resilience, and the power of imperfection. To her, life is about evolution, not stagnation in pursuit of an unattainable ideal. 10. The void of empathy. For all their independence and self-reliance, Sigma females place immense value on empathy. A lack of empathy, indifference, cold-heartedness, or an inability to connect with others' experiences is something they cannot tolerate. Empathy is the foundation of meaningful relationships. Sigma females understand that no one succeeds in isolation and that compassion is essential for building trust and mutual respect. When someone demonstrates a void of empathy, it signals a lack of emotional intelligence and self-awareness, traits the Sigma female deeply values. In personal relationships, a lack of empathy creates distance. Sigma females are willing to be vulnerable and supportive, but they expect the same in return. When someone is dismissive of their feelings or unwilling to understand their perspective, it erodes the connection. Professionally, empathy is equally important. Sigma females respect leaders and colleagues who prioritize teamwork, understanding, and fairness. A workplace that lacks empathy, where people are treated as expendable, or where toxic competition is encouraged, feels soul-crushing to the Sigma female. This intolerance for a void of empathy doesn't mean Sigma females are overly emotional or idealistic. On the contrary, they are practical and solutions-oriented. However, they believe that kindness and understanding are powerful tools for creating meaningful change. Ultimately, the void of empathy is unbearable to Sigma females because it contradicts their belief in the strength of human connection. They thrive in environments where people care for one another and support each other's growth. And there you have it, Sigma ladies, 10 behaviors and mindsets that simply don't align with who we are. From rejecting empty chaos to embracing progress over perfection, these truths define the boundaries that keep us focused, strong, and unapologetically authentic. If you've found yourself nodding along, then you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to the Sigma Lady and join this incredible community of women who are rewriting the rules and living life on their own terms. Remember, your power lies in your ability to stay true to yourself. No compromises, no apologies. Until next time, stay bold, stay brilliant, and keep leading the way.